Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm going to try to do some more sanding and getting rid of stuff off of here. Now let me show you what I did get rid of. Hang on, laid it down here. These little rubber pieces here that were up against the top. So it's just 3 screws each. You can get one from the inside and the 2 from the outside with the hood that's open. And on the where the screws go in, you got a little metal clip there. So make sure you don't lose that little metal clip. So I'm sure these need to be replaced, but I went ahead and tagged them anyway. Next thing, what I want to do, started looking these covers right here on the windshield wiper. So there's a little set screw there. So I took that out. They don't want to budge. And I looked it up online. And on this side, there's a nut that holds it on. You have to release that, undo that nut. And then you have to disconnect the wiper arm from the motor and pull the whole wiper arm out. So I'll do that later, but I want to start just trying to sand certain areas just to see what's going to work, what's not going to work. I'll still need to get under the dash to get these 3 wire clips off. Some of them I might be able to get that holds, I guess that probably holds the blower motor on. I will get to that as well. I don't know what that bolt holds on. There's not one on corresponding one on the other side, and that's for where your water goes in. And then there's a lever on the dash that opens and closes for the water to come through the heater. So I'm gonna put a mask on and start sanding some stuff. Maybe try to get some of it up here just to see what it's going to do when I start sanding. So let me get on that. All right, so got a little bit of surface sanding done. So I've got basically smoothing it out a little bit. There's still some rough patches here and there. Sanding it, while I was sanding it, I thought about maybe I'll just go do the Eastwood encapsulator on it and paint over the top of it. That might be the best thing to do. But on the firewall, these little clips here, these right here, that hold the insulation in on the inside. So let me show you the trick I found on those. So when they're in, they squeeze in like this. So let me turn the camera around. So as you can see, like right there, so it squeezes in a little bit. And what I found out is if you take something like this, strippers or something just as thin, maybe a needle nose pliers, you can clamp down on the sides here a little bit and then push it in. And once you get it started, then what you want to do is take your pliers, and they'll be similar, so it'll be pinched down a little bit like this. And if you push in on the outside here, the way these are made, it'll spread these ends apart, but it brings it in. So because if you try to, on the outside, if you try to clamp it down like that to push out, you're actually spreading them out. You have to clamp down more in the middle like this. You see how the ends spread out. So when it's in the car and it's just a circular hole that's in there, it's not, you can spin them around. So when it's in there, it's easier to push on this little V here, and if you push on the V, it'll actually close them up, and you can just push it through, and then that way you can go to the inside of the car and pull out this little clip. So that's a little tip there, but it was difficult to sand around these, so I'm just going to pull these out, and then I got to take the insulation out to get these out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other clips there. So I'm gonna go work on the inside of the car. Also got this little rubber grommet here. I noticed, now if y'all know the answer to this question, let me know. There's a grommet right up top here. I don't remember any wires coming out of there. There's no wires that I know of that came out of there, but something, that grommet's there for a reason. That was another grommet for just wires there. So I'm gonna go inside the car and get under the floorboard and pull the rest of these out and see if I can get those out. I might want to try tying all these together, because the last time when they went out, they just go ping and fly all over the place. So lesson learned on that, tie something off or tie them off together so that way they'll stay together. So let's give that a try. All right, everybody, I've got myself to a little stopping point right here. The insulation that goes all the way, it goes all the way across. So to take it out and to get to the things for the windshield wipers, I had to take the radio out. To take the radio out, I had to take the heater ducts out. So I've got the water valve right there out. I've got all that out. So the bolt, you had a bolt here, a carriage bolt, and then the heater part, the ductwork, metal ductwork goes over here, and there's 3 screws that attach to this part. You had 2 carriage bolts down here, and then the shiny washer right there also held that up. So let me show you those pieces of equipment. So this was in the car like this, and this is that bolt right there, and that's what's coming through the firewall. And if you're in the car, it looks like this. You have the top part here, which goes to your defrost. So you've got this one right here for defrost, and then the wire for your motor. I'll show you the other part, which I laid in here. So on that, you've got a thing on the top that holds the cable, and then that switches back for the defrost. There's the 2 holes on the side and 1 hole on the bottom for very, very small screws. Now I screwed those back into that part right there, and then there's the other carriage bolt that goes through that. So that's how you get that out. Once you get this out, then it makes the radio a whole lot easier to get out. So on the radio, you've got a bolt on this side, a bolt on this side, and of course you got to take the faceplate off, and you got to pull it out and kind of tilt it down from the passenger side and slide it out that way, so it won't just come out and straight down. So that's how I got that out. So that frees up everything underneath the dash to get all those little pegs out, and then get the insulation out, and then get the wire clips out. So it's a long process. I did take the air hose and I blew off everything here just to get the dust off. So it's still rough there, really rough around here because I had all those other things out. So I've got one more thing there, one there and there to take the insulation out. So I've got them up here, and I think some of them might still be in there. So that's where I am on that. I need to start bagging those clips for the insulation. So I'm gonna get to that. Okay, I've got most all the clips that are holding this in place. I looked it up online. This is the replacement part. It's made out of ABS. This is just a cardboard, but the replacement part's $344. Now it goes up real high here, it goes over the emergency brake, but it goes around and underneath your steering column. So I'd have to pull the steering column out to get it all out. So the clips should be right underneath here. So I'm hoping I can put my hand up underneath here. Now all of it's loose, I can just pull it out. And then the other one is just on the top on the other side. So I'm gonna try to do that. Use these to push it up, and I'm gonna see if it works. All right, these little wire clips here, they didn't come out as easy from the inside of the car as they did from the wheel well. So, because I couldn't pull the insulation back far enough to really get to it the way I did it the other way. So I started thinking how I could get these out, and I went back to this tool, the same one I used to pull the windshield wipers off. So I just put underneath here and gently pull, and they came out. And the way I did it was more on the the wide side of it there. So you got this right here, and then put it in this way and just gently pull out. So as I'm surveying it here, the only thing that's coming through the firewall right now is the steering column, the emergency brake, and then the water temperature and the oil pressure gauge. So I might be able to push those back in or disconnect them from the gauges and pull them out, and then get a new grommet for that. And then I'll need to do a lot more sanding around here. I need to research how to take off the wiper arms so I can get these out, because I want to probably sand all the way up there. It's really bad right there. It's not rusted all the way through. It's just a lot of surface rust there. But that's a lot done for tonight. So I'm gonna go in, wash up, and well, lucky for me, I got a sink on my back porch, so I don't have to go inside to wash up. So that's where I sit now. I've got me a list of things I need to go and purchase online. Go to my suppliers and at least get all the grommets and stuff like that I need. Visit the Eastwood site and find the right material that I need to coat everything that's going to stop the rust, and the rust won't come back through. If I was doing a full-on restoration and went it all down to bare metal and started all over, yeah, that'd be great. But I don't want to take this car all the way apart and do that. That's going to be a ton of money and a ton of time to do that. So trying to avoid all that. This is a refresh, not a restoration, but would like it looking nice and neat in here before I put the engine in. So that's that. I got a stack of newspapers from my neighbor to help out with the masking. I got some other masking paper there. So hopefully by the next time I do it, I can start getting the sanding done and start masking stuff off so I can paint. I know I got this right here is like a little lip that goes over. So I really don't want to, when we paint the car, we'll probably have to mask here down. But a lot of this is just black things here. These, they're bolted to this, but then you got a rivet here, and all that's riveted together, and then this is bolted, but that's riveted down there. So that's going to be kind of tough to do. So I'll cross that bridge when I come to it there. I see here there's some more wire looms here. That was for those. So I'll have to take those out as well. But since I know this will work, put them in there, put them in on this side right here, and then just pop it out. So, but thanks for watching. I think I'm what 118 of y'all that are subscribed to it. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure if you got a question, post it. I'll try to answer it. If you've got a tip for me, post it, and I'll put it in the bag of tips. If you're going through it, have a car just like this, found something a trick that I don't know about, let me know. If you need a trick to know about your car, let me know. I'll see what I can tell you what I've figured out on this. So I'm learning as I go, and along with everybody else. But thanks for watching.